Yeah, get in here, get in here, get in here, best friend. Yeah, so I'll be doing a very simple recipe. You know, many have been asking me for this recipe, so I would really love to try this recipe out with you guys. You know, many have been asking me, would love to try out a wet fried chicken. You know, but then this recipe does well also for be it pork, be it beef, you know, be it turkey and all that. So the choice is always yours, okay? So we'll be trying out this recipe. It's very simple, but very delicious. Yeah, it's a recipe that is loved by many, okay? So, our first step here is we'll be adding in our we'll be adding in our we'll be adding in our olive oil. I'm adding in a touch of olive oil. A touch of olive oil, you know, hopefully like a tablespoon of olive oil, okay? Just to make sure that everything is added up properly. So my next after heating this up a little bit, you give it like, let's say, a few minutes so that it heats up. I'm adding in my chicken, as you guys can really see. I have my chicken here. This is a very easy recipe that you can try out from home. So I'm using both legs and breast. So depending on whatever stuff you have with you, you know, whatever protein you have with you at home, okay? So this is what I'm using at the moment. So I'll have to put that in there. So we'll be adding in our. You'll be asking me why is your chicken has no salt and all that. So I'm adding in a touch of salt. That is our seasoning. A little touch of salt. I'm doing it basically in my wok, okay? As I said, it's something very easy. And then I'm also adding in my pepper. This is my black pepper. For those that love black pepper, I'm adding in black pepper. Okay. I love black pepper. I love it a little bit spicy. Okay. So once we're done with all that, I'll just ensure that I cover this up a little bit for, let's say, a minute and so. See that? Just to ensure that it a little bit steams up. Okay. Let me know where exactly you're watching me from. Leave your comments below. Let me know where you're watching me from, and then tell me how would you make your wet fried chicken. Okay. Let me know how you'd make your wet fried chicken. So the ingredients that we shall be using here is we're having some tomatoes with us. We're having green peppers. Those are our capsicum. We're having garlic. We're having sliced onions. We're having coriander fresh. That is cilantro. We're having coriander powder. We're having some paprika powder. And then the magic ingredient is salt. Okay? Those are the ingredients that we have. But then if I told you so much of a spicy person, you'll have a lot of spices in your wet fry, you can still go ahead and add in turmeric, but then most of the time I don't love adding in turmeric in my wet fry. But then if you're someone who loves lots of spices, go ahead and add in turmeric. As I said, cooking is always your business. You know, it doesn't really matter how you cook it as long as the flavors come out the way you want it. Nobody should come and tell you that, hey, this is the way you're supposed to cook, okay? So I'm just trying to turn this a little bit. As you guys can see, I'm trying to seal this up. But then, if at all you find this not okay for you, you can always boil your chicken. You can always parboil your chicken. And then add in the other condiments later, okay? But then I find this much better. It keeps my juices in the chicken, you know. So everything comes out with all the flavors that I'm really looking at. The flavors are always on point. Okay, so we'll also give that a little like 30 seconds so that it really seals out properly. And whereas I'm organizing our other ingredients that we'll be putting in here. Don't forget, if I told you have yellow capsicum, you can always go in for that. If I told you have red, well and good, like nobody else's business. Please go ahead and use whatever vegetables you have. If you have carrots, do so. It does the needful. Okay. So that's really how beautiful our chicken really looks like. Okay. And this really keeps our chicken intact, not mushy, you know. And the reason why most of the times you have to cover your chicken is, as you can really see the juices that are coming out of this. This is exactly what you're really looking at, you know. Most of the times I usually say, when you do this, you're sealing your chicken, you know. So it shows you that it's almost there, okay. So we'll again cover this again for another minute or two, just to ensure that all our chicken is cooked, and then I'll show you the next step. I already love the flavors that are coming out of this. Once I add in our vegetables, once I add in our capsicum, our tomatoes, and our onions, wow, it's going to be massive. It's going to be massive, you know. It's going to be a hell of a recipe. And this is something that you need to be trying out over there, okay? And then if you really try this out, please, let me know. Tag me, you know. So once I'm done with all these procedures, I'll be picking our chicken. You see that? That's exactly what you really. I'm not saying that it is cooked, but it's at least 70% cooked. Okay. So I'm pulling out our chicken, you know, out of our wok. See that? You see how beautiful this is really grilled, you know. You see how this really looks like? It looks so perfect. That's exactly how we're really looking at, you know. So our next step here is I'll not be deglazing, you know. So I'll only add in a little touch of olive oil, as you guys can really see, depending on how much oil you really want in your sauces. So I'm adding in some slices of onions. And those are slices of onions. If at all you want it chopped, it's up to you. Man, oh man, I love the flavors that are coming out of there. So give this some little, you know. Let's saute this a little bit. Ensure that you're sauteing this out. So I'm giving that some few seconds so that our onions saute. Whereas we add in our garlic and all that. Always ensure not to burn your onions. Don't burn your onions. And that's why I always say, cook on low medium heat. You see that? Like so, like that. So I'm adding in a touch of garlic. Garlic really does add that very, very, very good flavor. Okay. So that's our chopped garlic. If at all you have garlic paste and ginger, do so. You can always put in your garlic and ginger paste, but then I always love this minus ginger, you know. I just love to feel the taste of chicken, you know, so I wouldn't really love to feel, you know, that garlic stuff in it, that ginger. But then if at all you love ginger, why not? You can always add in your ginger, okay? As I said, like nobody else's business. It is up to you to decide on what you really want to have. So once we're done with that, I'm adding in my tomatoes. Those are some sliced tomatoes. You can always opt to have it sliced or diced, whatever you feel like. So you see that? Like so, like that. This is my business, okay? So if you find like you want to cut your tomatoes in dices, it's up to you, you know? but then I find this okay for me. So the other thing I'm doing here is I'm adding in a little touch of salt into our tomatoes. It does really, it does wonders. It does, you see that? It sounds like that. I really love the flavors that are coming out of this. So next step here is I'm covering this a little bit for, let's say, a minute and so. So I'll cover that up a little bit to make our tomatoes a little bit soft. Okay. So yeah, I also love ginger. But then usually when I'm making wet fried chicken, or let's say beef, wet beef, and all that, I usually love it with only garlic. But then if at all you love ginger on it, shoulder weight, you're free to put in ginger. As I said, it is your own business. Whatever you cook in your kitchen, it is your business. It's nobody else's business that is watching you out there. As long as it comes out delicious and your family is really okay with it, please go ahead. So a minute and so. So what I'll try to run my mingling stick in here a little bit. See that? So one thing I'll do is to ensure that this really gets a little bit softer, and I'll add in a little touch of water. If at all you have stock with you, please, you can always add in stock, okay? But then I'm adding in a little touch of water. If you have stock with you, please add in stock, okay? So when I'm adding in today, I'm adding in a little touch of water just to ensure that all my tomatoes are broken down. So we're going to give this a little more cover, just to ensure that this really breaks up and cooks so fast. So yeah, I really want to thank you guys, for the love that you're really showing me. Share the video, okay? And let me know how would you cook your chicken? How would you cook your chicken? I would really love, to share with my followers, on what basically would be the easiest way to prepare chicken, okay? Or to prepare wet fry, because I've gotten lots of people, contact me, hey, would you mind giving us a recipe of wet fry, And as I said, this goes for both pork, chicken, or beef, okay? It's up to you to either say, I'll have to add in either turmeric in, I'll add in garam masala in, I'll add in this, but then I'm doing something very simple, and that's the reason I said it's easy, okay? Easy. And that's the reason why I'll be only using only 3 ingredients. That is pepper, 3 spices. That is pepper. Now that is coriander. That is paprika. Okay? Nothing else. Okay? As you can really see that our tomatoes are there. So my next step here is I'm adding in a touch of tomato paste. A touch. I'm only saying a touch. Okay? That's a touch of tomato paste. Hopefully 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I love that. I really love the flavors that are coming out of this, man. This is so nice. So give that a little, a little mix, Oh man. So I'll begin adding in my spices. Where is my spoon? So I'm adding in paprika. Hopefully a tablespoon of paprika. Smoked paprika. I love paprika. It does add in that very good flavor that we're really looking at. That is our smoked paprika. I'm adding in a little coriander. This coriander powder for those that love powder. So I'm adding in coriander. Hopefully a teaspoon of coriander powder. And then I'm also adding in a little touch of black pepper for that spiciness. It's spicy. You can always add in chili or cayenne pepper. Like as I said, it's nobody else's business, okay? It is your food. You're making this for your family. And that's what exactly I'm doing, okay? You really see how beautiful this really looks like. That's exactly what we're looking at. So my next, least but not last, I'm adding in my peppers. Okay, like so, like that. Adding my green peppers, okay? If at all you have yellow peppers with you, you can always add in your yellow peppers, okay? Like so, like that. Leave this a little bit simmer for let's say a minute and so. I really love the flavors that are coming out of this. I love the smokiness of paprika and then the spiciness of, the green pepper adds in that spiciness of, you feel like you don't exactly really need to add in lots of cayenne and lots of green chili. So if you add in your green peppers, it does really add those very beautiful wonders. So once we're done with all that, we've added in this and that. So I'll be adding in our chicken, okay? So this is our chicken. Wow. 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 So we'll make sure that we try to infuse this. You see how beautiful this is? So you mix that in, you mix your chicken together with your sauce. And you really see the wonders that are really happening here. This is something very fast. This you can always have, you know. Very nice, very beautiful. So we'll give this a little cover for let's say a minute and so. I love that. So cover. The chicken is wow. Are intact. If at all you okay,